H-Land greatly helped me. They had a saying back, I hadn't heard that man. He had it. I don't know what he was saying. And I may get something, but it won't talk about it. It was a formula, which I suppose has, to some extent, described what I tried to do through the years, but H-Land is at the root of it. The formula was, start low, go slow, get high, strike fire, retire. Well, whatever you want. Oh my. They say that my father used to say that the perils of an old preacher are two. One, digression, and two, repetition. And I think he was right. One thing, you know, when you get to mature, more than mature years, when you become a sere yellow leaf, as one of the English poets said, there are so many reflections that play in upon whatever you're talking about. But digression becomes a very easy thing. Now, digression is not bad, except you get off track and forget to get back on. And of course, repetition has its place, but it can be very annoying to people. I remember hearing in a convention somewhere, no, I had a preacher from Canada, from Frank, I forget Frank's last name, on now, preached in the Concord pulpit, and I had a deacon, Ed Williams, my wife, you remember Ed Williams. He would talk back to you. And Frank, I wish I could think of Frank's last name, but anyhow, Frank told me, I was in that service that day, he preached, he was from Toronto, and he said, he never forgot that Ed Williams was apparently belaboring a point a little. And Ed Williams hollered out, we got that, go on to the next point. All right, I'm good.
Dr. Taylor, in your first lecture you talked about preaching as truth through personality. Would you expand a little bit on that first?
I'll do that. In the, I guess, 1870s, Phillips Brooks, rector at Trinity Church in Philadelphia, and who remains one of the preaching peaks in the history of preaching in America, gave the preacher lectures at Yale. And he defined preaching as truth through personality. Let me talk a minute about that. This is your strength. Dr. Weems was cautioning us yesterday about our weaknesses, and understandably. But our weaknesses and our strengths are all tied together. And they make our personality. It is a truism, what I'm about to say, but truisms are still true. We're often repeated. I don't care if you look at all of the things of the 20th centuries of preaching, all of the preaching that's been done. But there has never been the gospel has never been uttered as you utter it. Because there has never been another you. This gives to the gospel an endless attractiveness. Because as I said the other day, your utterance of it means that it has passed through the prism, through the constitution of your own makeup. And yes, other people have had experiences that you have had, health, sickness, joy, sorrow, success, disappointment. But the exact registration of those events filtering through the personality never occurred before in the history of the world. So that your preaching is unique. And the worst thing a preacher can do is to try to be another. For such a preacher has two perils. First, he can never, or she can never be what the other one is, and that may be good. But in failing to be what the other seems to be, one forgets who one is. I see a number of women preachers. I had a great conversion in teaching, preaching at Colgate, Rochester, and at Harvard, and some of the other schools. I heard an angle of the gospel from women that I had never heard. I heard a woman preaching, I guess, at Colgate, Rochester, or Harvard, one of those schools, one day, and she said that our temptation is to look upon women at either extreme, Mary, the mother of Jesus, or Mary Magdalene. And I was converted, because I came at a day when women preachers were just not thought of. But the worst thing a woman can do is to try to be a man. Tenderness of soul, and insightfulness. And many a man has been made, almost all men have been made not only physically, but psychologically and spiritually by women. I remember Paul Sherrill. I remember Paul Sherrill. I was still a class again when I first went to New York, and he said there was not a vote cast for Jesus the night of the trial. I said, oh yes. One vote was cast, Pilate's wife. Send word to him, don't fool with this. And old Dr. Sherrill, this grand Shakespeare man of that, he said, yes, you are right. But that vote was thrown out. Well, that's what I meant by it. That's what Philip Brooks, I'm sure, meant by truth through personality. Yes.
Dr. Taylor, I've heard you say that the gospel is the newspaper in one hand and the Bible in the other hand.
Yes.
As we approach the 21st century, can we not add the computer?
Yes, sir. You're a little beyond me now. My wife works those things. I have on to another generation. But I said this in my feature lectures, independent of somebody with far greater authority who had said it in another sense. I really did not know. I don't think I had read. Karl Barth said that you ought to read the Bible with the Bible in one hand. My word was that you ought to read the Bible or look at human events with split vision. Because in a startling way, as we have heard from preachers here this week, in a startling way, the Bible addresses contemporary situations. It's amazing. This book has a life of its own. And it speaks to us in all of our situations. So that one looking at a preacher, reading his Bible, ought to read it with the split vision of looking at events, seeing how, I'm not talking about prophecies and all of that. I don't get into that. There are people who know what the Lord's going to do that Jesus did not do. He said, no, not the Son. But they know confident assurance exactly what's going to happen, what day is going to happen, when the Lord's going to appear. I said it's a shame to talk about the Lord's second appearance to people who haven't heard about the first. Well, but the Bible does address us in our contemporary situation. It makes it a timeless, a time there, of course, and a timeless book at the same time. So that's what I meant. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You've been on the lecture circuit for a while now. I know.
What do you mean by a while?
And I know you probably had to leave town a lot. So how did you balance your preaching ministry with your social or your outreach ministry?
Now, one thing feeds the other. Let me talk about in terms of pastoral, and I'm glad you raised that question, about our pastoral responsibility and our preaching responsibility, because this is kin to what you were talking about, with a much broader application. They say in another country, really Scotland, I've learned a great deal from Scottish preachers and from reading about them and from knowing some of them. I knew Robert McCracken, who was in Riverside Church for a long time. They say over there that some of us have foot and mouth disease. We can't preach and won't visit. And this is a hazard. We preach in a vacuum where we're not dealing with people. And we are likely to gradually under-assess the significance of people. Sometimes to talk down to them as from some lofty eminence. When, if you could, you know, Louisiana is my background, and in New Orleans, you go through the French Quarter, for instance, and you see the shabbiest looking houses, unpainted or painted. But you get inside those houses, and you will find sometimes the most opulent furniture. Well, human beings are like that. The people you preach to may look like the ordinary folk. But in every single life, there's a soccer, ethics, a story of heroism that's going on in one way or another. Those people you preach to pass through great trials. And yet they get up each morning, many of them, with a smile on their face, their heads up, their shoulders back, face another day. You talking to heroes and heroines. You'll never forget that. And that's at the narrowest level. Now, that is at the broader level of the social application. We are indeed individuals. Alexander McLaren used to say, I have read almost reverence from McLaren, I have studied these preachers so much that I've become a companion of them almost. But McLaren used to say that we enter here one by one, and we leave here. Sometimes with the sides of the passageway so close that we are bruised in leaving. We leave here one by one, even twins, one by one by one. But we are also corporate beings. We cannot be defined except in context. And one of the anomalies, really, of a child growing up, my daughter lives out in Harbor City, California now, and I've gone through that. Some of the rebelliousness of children is an attempt to define themselves in terms of their community. So that when we look at this on the broadest scale, we are corporate creatures. Individuals shape society, society shapes individuals. So the preacher has a responsibility to preach the whole gospel. I alluded, I felt a little, I know all of you who preach, and most of you feel what I feel. Sometimes often after I preached, I wish I hadn't quite said what I said. And I would not want to cast aspersions on any group. I do have some criticism of what is called the full gospel movement. I had dinner one evening in New Orleans years ago, a few years ago, with the founder of that. But because it can be full of one thing. When the gospel speaks to us in our individuality and in our corporate existence. So that I think the preacher is called upon. But the preacher, Martin King was a friend of mine. And I revere his memory. I had some little part in the civil rights movement. But the civil rights movement did some harm, did great good, but did some harm to some of us who preach. We forgot to deal with the deep experiences of individuals.
Yeah.
Live, grow up, marry, suffer, rejoice, die. Bishop Talbot and Dr. McKay and I were talking the other night about it, and some of our most respected public preachers, that's not the word I want to use, civic preachers, that's not the word, secular preachers, that's not the word I don't know the word. Have lacked, and I could name their names, but I revere them too much to name their names. Have lacked the Christology. And a Christology addresses itself to the deepest needs of the human being. But it was right the other day, Jesus said, except by inference, very little about the societal setting. There it is. But the implications are there. But he did deal with individuals, and I think the weak Christology has grown out of the fact that there came a time of large public declarations. And they were necessary. I'm not arguing that. But to neglect that personal aspect of the gospel is to do a great disservice to the people to whom we preach, and is to warp and distort the gospel itself. So that these things should be held forever in a kind of equipoise. The individual affects society, society affects the individual. Yes, sir.
You know, Dr. Taylor, would you share with us the Dr. Taylor method of sermon preparation?
Good night.